Alright, we're going to make a splice connection in a 16 gauge wire. So we'll start by stripping off a little over an inch of the insulation. We'll strip it off both sides. And what a lot of people do right now is they sit and twist these down. These smaller wires, I like to splay the wires out and push them together. That way I know every strand on the right is connected with a strand on the left. Anything 16 gauge or larger, it just makes a nicer, smoother connection. So later when I cover it with a shrink sleeve or electrical tape, I don't have any sharp points sticking out that might penetrate through the insulation. So we'll take our soldering iron. I'm going to add a little solder to the tip. Going to tin the tip, clean everything up. Since heat rises, we're going to put the iron underneath the work. I start by touching the tip of the iron again, and then feed the solder in from on top and let the heat melt the solder. That way the solder can flow down through the wire, locking all the individual strands together. Make sure you don't move the wire while it's cooling so it doesn't fracture, making a cold solder joint. After it's cooled for 15 to 30 seconds, inspect your work. There should be no sharp points anywhere along here that'll catch your finger. If there's a sharp point, it might also stick through the electrical tape or through the shrink sleeve. Everything's nice and smooth. It's ready to be insulated. What a lot of people do when they join wires is they'll twist the wires down like this, and then twist them together. Soldering process itself is the same.
Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Well, we're just watching right now.
What's different with this is it has sharp points where the wire terminates that after you insulate it with either shrink sleeve or electrical tape can end up poking through and leave a potential for short to ground. By locking the wires down nice and flat, you don't have that sharp point at all. Sometimes it's desirable to use a crimp style butt connector when joining your wires. I'll start by removing 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch of insulation. I'll twist the copper down. From the wire you're joining, we'll trim the same amount, 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch of insulation from it as well. Take a crimp style butt connector, an uninsulated, and we'll put it over one end of the wire, and we use a generic crimp tool to fasten it. Crimp with as much pressure as possible so you get a mechanical connection. I'd put a piece of shrink sleeve over the wires if I was doing this on a car now, prior to crimping the other side. That way the shrink sleeve's in place. Insert the second wire in the butt connector and crimp it down with sufficient force as well. Technically, you could be done right here. I like to lock all my terminals together with a little bit of solder. That way I am assured that this open or whatever is wrong with the wire is never going to plague the customer again. We always start by cleaning the iron, put a little solder on the tip. The iron goes underneath the terminal butt connector, and then we let the terminal melt the solder. Unfortunately, this time I can move the butt connector in a vertical position and allow the solder to run down inside the terminal. If you can do that, it's desirable. You know the solder is going down where it's needed. Make sure there's no sharp points. Slide your shrink sleeve over top of the repair, and it's done.